Historical markers in the Weslaco and Mercedes area, presented by Stephanie Morales. I started with the Weslaco City Hall because it relates to the historical theme concept of identifying continuity and change. On the plaque, it reads that descendants of some of the early settlers still live here. I know this to be true because I have a personal family friend that tells us stories from when her great-grandfather used to own a good amount of land back in Weslaco and used to rent it out to farmers. The next location is the Texan Corporation. I connected it to the theme of analyzing cause and consequence because even though the company ceased to operate in 1991, its economic impact on Texas citrus industry, the Valley, and Weslaco was very significant. This landmarker is now the New York Life Building here in 522 South Texas Boulevard. The next landmarker is the First Presbyterian Church, which was located on the corner of 7th and Iowa Street. I connected the church to the theme of understanding ethical dimensions of history because the marker states that this church served as a place that worked with the needy, including outreach activities with low-income residents of the U.S.-Mexico border. The next location is St. Joan of Arc Catholic Church. I connected to St. Joan of Arc to identifying continuity and change in the community because this church was influenced by Our Lady of Mercy Church in Mercedes, and when it became a parish on its own, it went on to organize St. Pius Cross and San Martin de Porres churches. If it weren't for St. Joan of Arc Church, the two other churches would have never been established. The next location is the Weslaco Water Tower, which I connected to establishing historical significance because when it was established, it served as a reminder of Weslaco's early development as a progressive city. It is also important because it was built through the efforts of Mayor Kurgan and City Water Commissioner Detlef, which is amazing if you know the history behind water law here in the South region. Because of water law in the past, we now use terms such as commissioner, which came from the term comisario. I connected the Weslaco City Cemetery to understanding ethical dimensions of history because while it is not necessary that we keep our founders buried on site forever, we still do it out of respect for our city founders. The city founders that lay here are Edmund Cooper and Robert Lee. The next marker is the Camp Llano Grande marker. It is significant to history in the valley because it shows how active it was during times of defense. This camp was top of the line with all the amenities it offered to its soldiers. While not a lot of people think the valley was active in war, back then this camp was used to protect citizens against bandit raids from Mexico. Now on to Mercedes we go. I connected the Mercedes City Hall to taking historical perspectives because the Mercedes Police Station and the Mercedes Municipal Building were built around this old City Hall. The citizens of Mercedes took into perspective the location of the original City Hall and placed all buildings that had to do with city and regulation in the same region. The next location is the Rio Grande Valley Livestock Show. While I wasn't able to find the historical marker, I do know that the Exhibit Hall and Learning Center explained the history of cotton and how picking evolved after the invention of the cotton gin, along with the rise of sugarcane crop in the valley. So in knowing this, I connected it to analyzing cause and consequence because our region has continued to grow these crops and we are known for our abundance in agriculture. The last location is the Emmanuel Lutheran Cemetery, which I connected to taking historical perspective. This marker read that there is names of many German, Norwegian, Finnish, and Russian settlers who migrated to this area. While some might wonder why these haven't been removed, especially through times of war, the graves have remained intact, mainly because it is respectfully the right thing to do. So this ends our trip through Weslaco and Mercedes.